You are listening to the Omnichannel Podcast, a podcast from digital marketers to digital marketers. I'm your host, Dominika Legrand, and my mission is to help fellow marketers and entrepreneurs to grow their businesses online. So buckle up and let's get started. Hello, my lovely internet friends. I hope you all can hear me well. In today's quick session, I'm going to talk to you about how do you come up with your awesome, cool workshop topic, theme, and subject, okay? So this is for those that want to run an online workshop. You can call it boot camp, masterclass, like whatever you want to call it. But it's very crucial for you if you are selling your online consulting or coaching or any type of online offer, that you have a very cool, enticing topic around it, okay? And I'm going to tell you a bit of a story before we get into the how-tos, because I feel like that's super important for you to understand, okay? So essentially, as you can know, and as you can see, I'm in this marketing space. And what that also means is that I see ads a lot, okay? Well, yeah, that's what happens to me. And of course, I believe that I'm not unique with that. Of course, you see ads as well on your feed, but I think the difference between you and I is that I pay attention to them and I screenshot them, okay? I'm crazy. I'm what we like to call this in marketing, we call them swipe files. So I have a nice collection of cool ads, right? Because I like to see what's going on. And, especially when I'm working for a client, I get more of those ads on my feed, because Facebook knows what I'm up to, what I'm searching for, right? And so what happens is that because I work with a lot of, coaches, consultants, mainly, I do get a lot of ads that are catered to those people, right? And so what happens is that when I see a workshop, topic coming up, I immediately, screenshot them and I go snoop to the landing page and I try to think about whether or not I would sign up for this workshop if I was that client. And that's what I always do. And there is a pattern. There's a pattern coming up quite a lot. And I actually created a slide for this that I'm going to show you if you are watching this live. But there's a pattern coming up, which is so fucking funny, especially in this space. But I'm sure you can be the testament in your own niche, in your own industry. There are certain things that people push more than others, okay? And maybe 3 or 5 main topics that you see in your industry, and everyone else is literally doing the same thing. So here is, let me just put my slides really quickly to the stream. So that's the topic of today. So yeah, I'm just going to go on a whim and call out everyone that is doing this. So it's what we see is premium offer, high ticket clients, how to get to 10K, 20K, insert number K, just money, how to make more money, create content. And if you are looking for these are the things that we are selling to coaches, that's what we are doing, we as marketers, I mean. And if you are a coach and you are doing kind of the same thing, purpose, alignment, blah, 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 and which is cool, I guess, I'm sure it works because people are doing it, or they're doing it because this is what they see other people do as well. And you don't have to get me wrong. It's not about the premium offers, the topic themselves. It's about what is around it and how do I, put a nice ribbon on top of it and make it a nice gift, So the core can be the same thing, but how am I going to present it? is where I have some creative freedom to do that. And if I manage to angle myself differently, is when I have an insane amount of competitive advantage over everyone else who's doing the same thing. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like, long story short, I'm not bashing anyone. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to shit on anyone's high ticket offer. Like, how do you create a high ticket offer? Like, I'm not here to shit. I'm sure that works, like, I'm sure those whatever you guys are doing your workshops on, like, I'm sure that works. But even if that was the core topic of it, I would not be advertising it the same way, because that's literally how everyone else does it. And the other thing with this type of like flashy titles is that you literally attract the get rich quick type of people that are just like here for the next thing, and they don't take it seriously, right? So we have to be careful about how do we angle, how do we position, and how do we approach our workshop topics so that we A, stand out, B, have insanely cheap, Facebook ads cost for us, because we need to fill out those, seats if we are doing a live event. And then, yeah, I mean, it has to be a no-brainer for people to come in and be like, I'm excited about this. I want to hear more. Okay. So just moving on to the first important rule of this, and I should have done like a 3 rule, like how do you come up with a topic, but we're trying to move fast here, right? So I have a chapter in my book, by the way. I finished a book on workshops, and it's literally under editing phase. It's going to come out soon, I'll let you know. It's literally going to be like a 99 something, because I just wanted to get out there for people. Anyway, so I have a chapter in my book that's literally says, wake shit doesn't sell unless your vibe is mystery. And that's so true. Like, if you are someone who is in this, mysterious thing where, people are like, yeah, whatever, sign me up. Like, sure. I'm sure that will work really well for your workshop, right? You can give all these fantasy names and you would be still crushing it, right? But that's how you are, that's how you present yourself from the beginning, okay? And that's the type of coach or consultant that you are, that could work for you. And especially if you have your established online presence, okay? That would work for you really well. But if you don't have anyone knows you, who's knowing you, I can't speak anymore. But if you don't have anyone that actually knows you, then you might want to be a bit more clear about what the hell are you going to talk about in your workshop, okay? So I'm going to put this in here. The first rule is, I'm going to make this say, have a clear outcome about your workshop, okay? So that's super important for you to have a clear outcome and voice that outcome in a way that people actually like genuinely understand what the hell that outcome is. Okay. So very easy example, my high converting ads workshop, it's about high converting ads. Okay. Or for one of my clients, the reconnected workshop. Okay. It's for couples to reconnect. Okay. So in this case, because we had such a clear outcome, it was very easy for us to then convey that to people and just give some explanations on what exactly we meant by that. Okay. So just moving on. So have a clear outcome, which is understood instantly by your audience, and also have something that is actually desired by your audience. And I know I'm not saying anything new here, but if you have a topic that you know that your audience would love to know or learn more, or this has been something that they kind of been struggling with, and here you are giving that topic and giving that solution right to them, then this is again a no-brainer to have something, present something in your workshop that your audience actually wants. And I'm not going to go into details on how do we do the whole research on that, because we do a whole research on that. But instead, I'm going to give you something completely different, and we're going to approach this in a different way, okay? So if you are in a super competitive niche, okay, meaning that you have an offer that is literally being done by everyone else, and let's see, you are selling a coaching or a program on how do you get premium clients. Like, okay, if that's what you're gonna do, then you can approach that same topic with a different angle, okay? And that's what I want to talk about here, because this is something that I don't see a lot, but it's like OG marketing foundations, okay? And that's how the OGs are did it, or have been doing it. So if our desire is to get premium clients, then what I'm just looking down because I'm like reading up my slides, but if our desire is to get premium clients, then what we would have to do is we would have to create a nice story around it, okay? And I'm not sure if you guys have seen, Danlog has an ad, when it's a video ad actually, and it's selling you how to create premium offers. Like, it's not even novelty, guys, but he does it differently. He angles it differently. He says in the video, like, hey, look at this handbag. You know, it's worth a lot of money, yet, I mean, a lot of people go buy it and it's worth a lot of money. Look at this handbag. What do you think is the difference between this handbag and the normal handbag? And he goes about explaining about perception and how positioning that brand from the beginning and have a perceived value of like designer bag, like it's a prestige to own, and like all of that was intentionally built for that specific brand, made the whole thing exclusive. Okay, and how can you do the same for yourself and, you know, come to this cool masterclass or live event? I'll tell you how to do that. Okay, and that was his whole premise, that was whole angling around it. Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. Okay, this was an ad from Traffic and Funnels, and they were selling actually a low ticket course. Now, this idea, by the way, this angle idea works with the program itself, right? And it doesn't just work with workshops, but literally with everything else. Okay, so the offer was about organic marketing, an organic marketing course. And, you know, obviously the desire was to get clients organically, and how slitting into people's DMs are just like not cool anymore. And they were, in fact, saying that, you know what, this is not going to work if you think that just by giving value that you are going to be different. If that was true, everyone was booked, like fully booked, right? And they were explaining that, in fact, you have to, and they were introducing a new concept of the fractional content, which was designed to kind of pique curiosity in your brain. And they were like putting like a brain image, and they were like serious about it, right? They're like putting a brain image, and they were like explaining like how your brain works and how you have to stay curious about the subject so that you actually want to know more and you reach out to the person. Okay, so that was this whole idea. In the course, they were teaching about how to create fractional content. The baseline, guys, is so simple. It's literally nothing revolutionary. But the fact that they created this massive premise around it, made it so that you're like, oh, I wonder what that is. I want to come and see for myself. Okay. So that's how the premise creation can be such a powerful tool in your approach to business. Let me give you another example. And we haven't fully immersed into this one, but I was really close to finding this premise. And by the way, finding premises for clients is itself like a whole process. Like we really have to think about what the core desire is and then just have the truth of it. Like here we had two truths here. One was that perception. In fact, with the premium clients, that perception is what sells. The second angle, the truth was that just by giving free value content, it doesn't mean that people will buy from you. Okay, that both of those statements were true, but with these type of angling and with this type of premise storyline creation, it was very easy to people to go like, oh, what the hell is that? I want to know more. Okay. I'm going to give you another example here. And I want to invite you to think about yours as well, your topics. Two examples, actually. The first example is going to be the OG copywriter idea. It's actually from the book, The Advig by Joseph Sugarman. This book is essentially a copywriting book. And he's actually tying the copy to news. And I think he was writing copy on an agent who was embezzling money. And now because of that, he went to prison and he was getting an exercise machine, like a roar exercise machine to prison, and how much he loved it. And the copywriter was explaining about this, this rower and how amazing it was, and how he said to his wife he wanted this and now he has it and he's so happy about it. But even a copywriter was saying at the end, but this whole thing was just made up so that you can come and check out this ad and buy from me after. So again, that was a story premise creation, again around the same topic, to sell a product. Now the second example for our client actually was that the reason it was a relationship coaching client, and it was about the fact that the reason why you're disconnected in your relationship is because obviously life gets in the way, and we're just explaining those things, but the main conflict source could be the fact that you are just wired differently, that your brain and your partner's brain is, you guys are thinking differently. And if you understand why you are thinking differently and how you're thinking differently, then you can understand how intimacy is different for women, how men think about it, and just by having the information, you can spare yourself a lot of arguments and a lot of disagreements. Like this is just one angle that we could have used for this campaign to sell out the workshop, but there are an infinite amount of angles to go about it. I think the framework here is a main desire. Like, what is the desire of your ideal audience? Try to get that, find that. And I can tell you, like, okay, you go there and research that, but hopefully if you haven't done that, then go ahead and do that. But once you have that desire, how are you going to angle it? What truths there are in that type of topic that you think that you could use for your own selling angle, and find out and create a story around it. And once you do that, you are already like so much more different than anyone else who's trying to sell the same thing in your marketplace. Okay, so if you're lucky, hopefully you don't have to do this because you already have a niche that you're working in. But first of all, in that case, you can just go with big desires. But if you are in a massively competitive market and you want to sell about premium offers, or you want to create you have a program about Facebook ads, like whatever that is that you see all the fucking time, then I encourage you to try out this whole premise storyline to sell that workshop, and come up with a topic. Because once you create all of that, it's so logical for a lot of people. Like once you tell me this, like of course, like designer bags have that perception. Like it makes perfect sense to me, right? You introduced a subject and introduced to me a fact that now I can kind of take, very easily on me. So after that, it's very easy to just go through the motions and teach me something. And at the end, I will be hopefully ready to buy from you. All right, you guys, that was it for today. I'm going to go. If you need help with coming up with the premise or the angle for your workshop, or if you need help with, just organizing this whole thing for you, from the ads to the topic to everything, literally everything, do reach out to me and my team can help you with everything that you need help with. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you